Welcome back, Twitch and YouTube. We're gonna pick where we left off last time in the Long Dark. We're gonna see how much I remember after a week. Okay, we are in this building. I think I know where this building is. Right here. It's cold. It's only cold. Coastal Highway. One of the islands. Got a couple quality tools here. Got some cloth in the form of those clothes. The first thing I need to do is I need to warm up. Probably why I ducked in the building here. Inventory looking like more rose hips than I probably need. Well, we got a fishing book. My thought process that I've been thinking over the last couple of days is that I'm going to go gather up a bunch of fuel and we're going to go try to map Bleak Inlet. We haven't mapped in the last pass through. And part of the way to manage the carrying is I think I'm going to leave... I think I'm going to leave the bow behind, or I'm going to leave at least a lot of the equipment behind so I'm a lot lighter to facilitate rapid movement. I'm guessing I probably drop by the fishing hut to... I'm on this island. Drop by the fishing hut to leave behind the fishing equipment that I recently made. Double check if that was the case, because if that is the case, when I get back to the fishing hut, all the equipment will be on the floor. And at which point I'll head over to the Quonset. Still remembering things as I'm going along. So I remember those planks being there. I'm actually surprised those planks are still there from the last time. There was a couple other things next to that plank that we harvested, or made acquisition of. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't despawned due to blizzard since we did that, but... Well, that's what I forgot to check between episodes. I forgot to check where the rope can be. Right now I'm heading back to Quonset. And I'm going to head back up to the mine before I get to Quonset. Pick up a bunch of coal, and then probably head off to the upper Bleak Inlet area. The weather at the moment is quite warm, so we should be able to get at least up to the mine without having to spend a lot of time to sit around and warm up. One of the reasons I want to bring coal this time when we go down to Bleak Inlet is so that we can actually be warm, because one of the things I was finding near the end of that Bleak Inlet run is that I was struggling to be warm due to how cold Bleak Inlet is. That's a wolf. I'm sure I'll probably be able to move around the wolf without getting detected. Yeah, I think we left off dropping off the fishing equipment and ducking into that building to warm up after doing so. So yeah, my current plan is I'm going to leave some equipment behind. I haven't quite decided how much. I think I probably will take the bow with me. But I'm not going to take all 10 arrows. We're not going to be hunting the timber wolves, I think, in Bleak Inlet. Or not Bleak Inlet. Yeah, Bleak Inlet. For some reason I want to call Bleak Inlet Desolation Point, which isn't the case. We finished mapping Desolation Point. We need to map Bleak Inlet, which is the place with the timber wolves. At least until the wildlife refresh comes in, adjusting the spawns of things like timber wolves. Note to self, there is a wolf. Now, both ends, and that'll make it a little bit more complicated to leave. So, to save some weight, not taking any flour or that sort of stuff down to make pies, so we're going to leave the rosehip here. Honestly, I probably should have left the rosehip behind earlier. Leave a bunch of arrows. We'll take like 4 arrows with us, and I'll leave the fire-hardened ones behind as well. I'm going to leave the book behind. We're not going to take the book down with us. Book is... there's the book. We'll take the lantern fuel. If we're going to map, we're going to need charcoal. We'll probably want flares in case we run into the timber wolves in the blizzard. Oh, I don't need this, this empty flask. Take the water, we'll take the emergency food. We'll leave the earmuffs behind. We're going to be climbing, so I'm going to want to be wearing the crampons, so yeah, let's leave the earmuffs behind. We don't need the canister, so we'll leave the canister behind. It looks like we'll take the rest with us. And we're going to pick up more fuel if we can. I'm going to be able to... So in theory there was a wolf out the back, so I'm not going to be able to sneak out the back. If we can sneak out the back, that's going to be the best way forward. Oh, in a couple minutes that we were inside, the wolves must have moved. So I'm going to head up towards the mine next. I'm going to fill the character's inventory up with coal for the descent. There's enough of sticks and stuff like that down in Bleak Inlet. But what I'm going to be having difficulty finding down there, which is why I'm going to take it with me, is going to be coal to stay warm. We also got a fairly large food stockpile in the form of the bear we killed during the last trip. So it's really just keeping our character fed well enough to get down to where that bear is to map at least like the eastern portion. Bleak Inlet. The upper portion doesn't actually need that much mapping, so hoping to be able to get that done real quick. So there's the bear. Of course, the bear's between where I want to be and where I am. Take a quick jog away from the bear. Get us some space. Oh, crows flying overhead, okay. Yeah, so the plan right now is head up to the mine, pick up coal, head over to Bleak Inlet, do what Bleak Inlet mapping we can do. And do a little bit of exploration on the way up to the coal mine. One place the rope may be, it's maybe not a nice place for the rope to be. I suppose it could be in the cave below where I want to install the rope. Because I think I did see the rope for the climb up. Normally you want to descend ropes when you can, rather than ascend them. I suppose worst case scenario, I could probably do the climb up, take that rope down, go and install it at the top, because it's probably easier to billy goat down the second half than it is the first half, if memory serves. Okay, hopefully that cleared a little bit of phlegm that was slowly building up in my throat. There's the lower rope. So if I go up this rope, behind this rope will be a cave. And I think that cave might be one of the spots where the rope can spawn, if it isn't set up already. And regardless of whether it is a place where the rope can spawn, the rope is not here. We'll take this maple sapling while we're here. Save us having to come back here. First question is, do I want to billy goat down? Probably not. We'll take that rope. Also want to grab? No. So I think the rope down is right here. When you set it up. Originally, to come explore the bit that I just explored, I wanted to take the down rope last time we were around the place to go down it, and it wasn't there, which stopped me from doing that. So if I see the rope, I'll have to remember to put it in the notes for future me, so I can remember to go put it in its location. But again, offhand, I don't remember exactly where that rope can spawn. Suspect in that cave is a place, but wasn't in that cave. I know there is one by default that will usually spawn. Here, wolf. I didn't hear it kill what it was chasing, so I did. It ran out of audio range before it made too much noise. Where was I on my thought process? I don't necessarily know all the places where it can spawn, so as we map the place, we'll have to see if we can find it. Now, our character is a little tired from doing that climb up and that climb down, which means I'll probably need to sleep before we go into Bleak Inlet, because Bleak Inlet will actually pretty much be a climb down, and if at all possible, I probably want to make the second climb as well, all in one go. The second one might be pushing it, but it's possible I'd like to be able to do both climbs. So before we reach Bleak Inlet, I will have to have the character sleep. Because I ideally want the character to be at basically full fatigue before you do Bleak Inlet. So that possibly means I probably will sleep in the ravine. Which is the place memory serves, I was accidentally calling the canyon for quite a while. I think it is a canyon, but it's the ravine in-game. And there's a couple caves in the ravine that if you're careful or have good equipment, you can always sleep in, so we can sleep our character back up to full fatigue. Probably we won't want to take long sleeps in there in case we get in a blizzard situation, but our character has gotten mostly full condition, so we don't need to take long sleeps to recover condition. We can take short ones to focus mainly on fatigue. Okay, so here is not my pile of coal. I remember leaving a pile of coal. There's the pile of coal. Okay. So, we've got about 4 kilograms of carrying capacity. Oops, I should actually leave this. Actually, we'll leave the green maple here. We'll leave a note for future me. Now, what day are we on? 81. Okay, there's our note. It's going to basically let us carry a whole extra piece of coal. And let's go ahead and load up on at least 3, if not 4 kilograms of coal. Do you want to leave sticks behind and carry coal instead? Yeah, let's do that. Let's leave 10 sticks behind. Pick up a bunch of coal to make a difference. Yeah. And off we go towards the upper portion of the ravine. That short stint in the mine allowed our character to warm most of the way back up. So it's just going to be us traveling slow. That's going to be the real issue getting over to the ravine. So we're a little overweight because of our fatigue. think those crows are crowing over a human. Sort of tripped and slid down the hillside here. Here's why I can hear them. I think they have a little bit better vision than I do in this level of fog. So at this point I'm not really expecting any real hazards between here and the upper portion of the ravine. There is the possibility for wolves, and I've definitely run into wolves before when carrying things that smell. Well, I've definitely run into wolves even when not carrying things that smell on Stalker. But Interloper, they're a little bit less common. That usually means you can get away without running into many alert moments. Anyways, that's a deer over there. Usually that's a good indication there isn't wolves really close. And just a quiet walk. Getting pretty close to the point where I haven't run into wolves anymore. I think the last place I've tend to run into wolves is the bridge up ahead. Once I pass there, as long as I don't have anything that smells, usually end up having a wolf-free journey the rest of the way over to Mystery Lake, so... Oh, I heard something making noise. Oh, there is a wolf down there. So it's a good thing I didn't take a detour to the trailer. So yeah, usually past here, I don't think I've ever run into wolves past here unless I'm carrying something that actively smells. So I suppose in the what will otherwise be quiet, boring part of this video as I walk my character over to the ravine, I can start to give some channel updates. So obviously I'm streaming the Long Dark today. I don't necessarily know when the next stream of the Long Dark will be. And as a side effect, I don't necessarily know when the next recording of Long Dark will be. I'm going to try to record 6 to 7 videos today. So if you're watching on YouTube, there probably will be another part. Well, unless I somehow die in the next 5 minutes, there'll probably be another part. Or if I die really early in the next video, there might not be another part, right? Because then I'll just merge the two videos. But as long as I don't die, there'll be another part. So if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to continue following along, and I hope you've been enjoying. If you're following along on Twitch, I hope you've been enjoying it. I don't necessarily know when the next part will be as far as Twitch is concerned. Today is the last day of recording The Long Dark. That I have a good understanding of if it will actually happen. Because this upcoming weekend, I'm moving. I'm going to go move in with family. So depending on how the move in with family goes, I will either start recording again, like next week, sometime next week, or I won't start recording again next week. And in that latter situation, obviously there won't be any more content once this set of recordings is complete. So I hope you've been enjoying it, if you've been following along. And if you haven't been following along, well, if you haven't been following along, you're not hearing this channel announcement. And if you haven't been liking it, you probably aren't following along. So if you're watching this and paying attention to this, I hope you've been liking it. And hopefully, if everything works out, there'll be more content. But at the current time, I don't know if there will be. Yeah, I'm gonna try to record 6 to 7 YouTube parts today, so that'll be 3.5 hours. Approaching 4 hours worth of stuff. Got about 10-ish more, well, at least 5-ish more minutes in this video before we end this part. I'm gonna have to take, well, I'm taking the character to the next cave. We get to the next cave, we warm the character up in the cave, and probably also try to recover all the fatigue in the cave, assuming the weather allows us to do that. At which point we will begin the descent into both the lower ravine and into doing Bleak Inlet. Past the dangerous part of the trestle. The very slight curve to this trestle, sometimes a bit annoying with my level of mouse sensitivity. But otherwise the trestle's not that bad. Assuming things go well, I'll do a recording of probably Frostpunk 2 tomorrow. I may have a little bit of time on Friday to record some Against the Storm. And then we're going to move, or then I'm going to move. At which point, until the move is done, I don't know if I'm going to record any more after that, so... moment. We're going to go explore Bleak Inlet. And see how well that goes. Well, I suppose I've explored Bleak Inlet at this point. I've explored most of the hot points. We're going to go map Bleak Inlet, which is a little bit different than exploring, because unlike exploring, I don't think I'm going to find anything super valuable. We do have the code, so if we're around the cannery when an aurora's up, we can go throw the code into the door to get the door open. Though on Interloper, I'm definitely not going to go in the cannery on when an aurora is up, because I'm pretty sure the wolf still spawns in Interloper, and trying to deal with the wolf, well, I suppose it also depends on my conditions. If I'm at 100% condition, I might chance taking the wolf to the face, because stepping in there in an aurora will mean that there will be a very aggro wolf in the cannery workshop. But if I can get the door open, which you can only do during an aurora, then at any point I can come back when it's not an aurora, at which point it'll be a lot easier to deal with said wolf. taking a little bit more damage here on the way to the cave than I would have liked. I know I've got a bit of food pre-stockpiled at the top of the climb. This time, because I got everything set up, I don't think I'm going to come back up the climb, so I'm going to eat a little bit of that food instead of leaving quite so much there stockpiled. That way I can enter into the upper Bleak Inlet full on calories. Seeing some of the bark bits here conveniently. Go ahead and grab that. Oh, got some convenient water here as well. Grab that. Go ahead and drink some water before we sleep.
I need to find a place to rest.
Well, our character, you have found your place to rest. So, looking at the time, it's probably a good time to go ahead and put the part in. So I'm going to go ahead and do the multiple rests here. And assuming no blizzard rolls up, I will probably do the pause and the part break for YouTube when I do the final rest. If a blizzard pulls up, then I will continue the episode going as we go duck for cover for try not to be freezing in the blizzard. Because the cave should be warm enough unless a blizzard rolls up. And if the blizzard rolls up, then it won't be. So that's the situation where the character will have to probably finish the dash over to Mystery Lake to get itself warm. I'm a bit low on condition than I would like to be, so I'm actually going to drink a birch bark tea so we get a little bit more condition back from the sleeping. I'm going to gamble also and take a 4-hour rest. Okay, gamble pays off. We're still warm. Condition's a lot better off. I'll take another 4-hour gamble. We'll probably still be warm. And we are. This is where I'm going to go ahead and put the second break, so if you've been following along on YouTube, I hope you've been enjoying it, and there'll be another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, give me a moment, I'll be right back after I grab a tea.